All right, let's get a thing straight right now about chapter 27. This is about William Taft, the president after Theodore Roosevelt. So when most people know him, they know him for being the president, the guy after Teddy Roosevelt. They also may know him as the only person to serve as both president and serve on the Supreme Court. So again, that was really his dream. He didn't really ever want to be president. But here's the other thing we got to get out of the way right away. That story about him getting stuck in a bathtub, not true. Okay? Not true. He was a big dude, okay? Really big dude. Probably the biggest president we've ever had, but he did not get stuck in a bathtub. Again, this is that era of yellow journalism that we've talked about a couple of times, or that we will. And stories like this were not uncommon then, they're not uncommon now. Things that sound good, that sound funny, that aren't really true. So no, he didn't get stuck in a bathtub. What I really want to talk about is money. And this is the time where we start to get to the 16th Amendment and really understand. The 16th Amendment, by the way, is the ability to tax without regard to population. So the government can tax basically however it likes. And there's some detail in there about how that works. It is important. I simplify it, but it is really important to understand that the 16th Amendment, more than Franklin Roosevelt, the New Deal, more than Medicare, more than Medicaid, more than anything else, transformed the relationship between citizens and their government from a commercial perspective. It made the government kind of the largest single economic engine in the country. Before the 16th Amendment, really before World War II, and the 16th Amendment allowed this to happen, taxation was maybe 2 to 6%, 2 to 7% of GDP, gross domestic product. The 16th Amendment, with that kind of opening up of how taxation went, took that kind of a 10x, almost a 10x increase to maybe 20% of the economy, 17 to 20% of the economy. That's a huge fucking deal. When you think about your expectations when you're handing over $2 for your lunch versus $20 for your lunch, your expectations are really, really different, as they should be. One, you might be getting a cheap cup of coffee, and the other is you expect a full meal. Very different, really critical. So the excerpt I want to read you is just to help understand fundamentally why money is such a big deal and why it's so interesting to study, and kind of getting at some of that rationale. So just a brief excerpt today. There's a reason that forensic accountants scour financial records. If you want to separate truth from fiction and facts from opinions, following the money is a great way to do it. Money is unique in that it provides both quantitative and qualitative evidence. Money is quantitative. You can objectively measure who received it, what channels it came through, when it changed hands, where the transaction occurred, why the transaction was made, at least the stated reason, and how much money it was. Additionally, you can measure the derivative, the change in the rate of acquisition of or reduction in money. These quantitative measures provide a foundation of facts and a nearly unbreakable chain of evidence. But money is also qualitative. Not everyone is motivated by money in the same way, of course, but money triggers a wide range of emotions: power, lust, pride, charity, security, justice, revenge, trust, and dozens of others. That's because money provides access to other items of value. Possessions, yes, but also perceived attractiveness, superior health, and control of resources. Because of our emotional attachments, the objective amount of money often is divorced from its perceived value. Those features of money remain true at different scales: individuals, families, small groups, communities, companies, or even entire nations. That's what makes money so complicated and so interesting to study. So we walk through in this chapter really the implications of money, why tariffs just aren't a big fucking deal. They were a big deal before the 16th Amendment. Tariffs were a huge deal. They just aren't a big deal now. And when people talk about tariffs today, they're blowing smoke up your ass. They just aren't that big of a deal at the macro level. In micro industries, in real specific cases, absolutely. But on the grand scheme of the economy, no, not at all. We really talk about income taxes. We talk about payroll taxes, corporate taxes, those sorts of things make a big deal. And the charts in this chapter are gold. So whether they're in print or on the ebook, they're all really nice chapters. I made sure to really kind of work on these charts to help you see what's going on and how big of a deal it is. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it, and you'll really get a clearer picture of what the expectation of government really is, and it all traces back to the story of William Taft. So it's a fascinating one. You'll really like it. Again, July 4th, pick up your copy of Marketer in Chief. You can pre-order it now.